Hi guys, today is October the 9th, 2019 at 20 minutes past 9 in the evening over here in the UK, and I just want to do a quick interpretation video for October the 10th and October the 11th. I'm not going to go through all the things that I'm thinking may happen on those 2 days, but two prominent things. The first is Donald Trump and the potential shooting. In the video I pointed out before, we've got the 10, 10, and then he shows 3 on one hand and 4 on the other hand, which I've connected as a number 7. Now, I've often put 10 and 10 together as number 20, but it could just be separate. 10, 10, which is possible reference to October the 10th, and the 3 and 4 could be a time reference, maybe between 3 and 4 or 3 and 4, or it could be 7. Either way, tomorrow Donald Trump will be in Minneapolis having a rally at the Target Center. So, ironic if it was to happen, ironic it would be for a shooting to take place at the Target Center while Donald Trump's having a rally there. And we've obviously got all this impeachment and stuff like that. So it's volatile times. With the 11th of October, that I'm looking out for events around Hawaii, mainly taken from the open apple here. 1 seed, no seed, that's 10, 1 and 0, and then 1 and 1, 11. So the reason I say I'm looking out for that on the 11th is obviously if anything happens to Donald Trump, it flows sequentially in the video format, where we have the Bush character representing Donald Trump, who then changes to Obama. So in my interpretation, I feel that that means the Donald Trump character has been sidelined for permanently or for some time, I don't know. And then we have Obama initially laughing. Obviously that could be connected to events around Donald Trump, but then, not laughing. And that could be connected to events around Hawaii. So it would be October the 10th, Donald Trump, October the 11th, Hawaii, Donald Trump, and then Obama. That would be around Helena slump, possible connection to fissure number 8. I'll get that from the shadows that they make here with the F coming off the side, the number 8 in the middle, which is also a possible reference to the 8th month on the Roman calendar, which is October, the month we're in. We've got the lotus lily flower blooming in the middle, death, reincarnation, regeneration, but also a signifier of an eruption, in my opinion. The apple then connecting with the tsunami gives me a connection to the Helena slump and the island splitting, not completely, a section of it dropping off into the ocean, generating a tsunami towards the west coast. Going back in the video, the 8th blue character, minus Lily in the middle with the 2 marks above the head, could give us a reference to 811. That could be, the time the tsunami comes in. We have all these blue characters, which again could give us a reference to drowned people. Obviously, blue color of water, so I'm just making that connection there. We have a possible tsunami reference down here. If this character does represent Donald Trump, with the M shape for the hands and the legs, could be a reference to Minneapolis, Minnesota, which is where it's going to be tomorrow. Possible shooting at that time. Exit, everything goes dark, lights up. We've got the deer, stag, I can't remember the other names for it. Too much information. But anyway, we've got this reference over here on fire, and geographically it's on the west, so it could be a reference to the west coast. At the moment, the west coast is shutting down electricity to a lot of its residents due to the potential for wildfires, and you can see that just here. Let's get back to the top of the video. So it cuts to 500,000 in California, going up to 800,000. This is just with one provider, so I'm not sure on what the other providers are doing, but likely doing something similar. And it's just kind of like people are obviously picking up all the essentials and things like that. So if something major was to occur while this electricity shutdown is going on, they'd be more prepared for it, you know, subliminally preparing the population for a potential event involving California. And like I say, if they're doing this now, the interpretation for the volcanic eruption of Kilauea on the 11th, with the tsunami heading towards the west coast on the 11th, may all sync up, because as we know, the scene goes dark, power outage or power being shut off. The red scene gives us a reference, the blue and red scene gives us a reference to emergency, but also the red scene by itself, along with the fire over here, gives us a reference to fires. You know, generally that red glow is something you see on horizons where there's wildfires going on. The rabbit lighting up, looking at the 8th character, which is, in my interpretation, a representation of October, 2 marks above the head, 11. Then we roll on to the apple scene, and we have, as I said, the 1 seed in the middle, the no seed, sorry, the 1 seed on one side, the no seed, 10, and then 11. So again, giving us that connection to the same date and the possible event that's connected with the power going out, the fires kicking up, and then the tsunami coming. Back to the blue characters, giving us that same reference. So those are the 2 events I'm looking out for. October the 10th, at the Target Center, something happening to Donald Trump, whether real or faked. Obviously, I was talked about, they've got the technology deepfake. They've shut down all the roads around the center, so I think that's normal, but you know, they're making particular emphasis on it. So there's a lot of things already ready and ripe to go. At the same time, in other parts of the world, there's other signifiers that could be connected to this event. The typhoon, category 5, going to strike Japan, occurring around this time. So again, something we're looking out for. In fact, it might have already struck Japan, as I'm seeing this report is from October the 8th. I'll have to check up and make sure, see where that typhoon currently is. Probably still in the region, so it would still be connected around that time frame. There's a lot to watch out for. Brexit, of course, meeting on the 19th of October, deadline 31st of October. And I've talked about how on the 31st of October there could be the connection to this part of the iPad Go-To video, where we then have New York and London and possibly Italy as well affected around that time. That would be Halloween, October 31st. So a couple of weeks between the West Coast being affected and the East Coast being affected. Geographically, I think this scene is west, north, east, and they're all facing towards the south, where George Bush received the news in the school of the first 9/11 attack. My Pet Goat was the book they were reading. I Pet Goat 2 is this video. The interpretation or the inference from that is this is an animated cryptic video about events revolving around the second 9/11 event, leading into other events which lead to this guy coming out. You guys have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and may the Heavenly Father bless you.